Okay, so it is now 8:42. Yeah, I've been up for 2 hours now. I got up at 6:40. Um, and I want to tell you what happened. I thought we were going to do things the right way, but no, man. Grandmother Olivia did it again. They put more stuff on my plate, man. Now I got to show you what they done now. So I was planning to get up and tell their story because I was ready to go, right? Because that story that I wanted to tell for them is critical because after that, the hot wings one, um, God sakes, I'm so lost where all these videos are going now. Where did she go? So after this one here, like this video here that I was talking about melting my face off, I was ready to jump back in here now and tell the story from this perspective here about the flesh fair. But they changed it, man. As soon as I woke up this morning, now I can't. Now I'm not going to carry on from the story because I just got done a video last night talking about the Hot Ones video. So to me, that chapter was closed and I was ready to carry on from there. So this video here, where I talk about the Hot Wings show with Maya Rudolph, that was ready to go. So that chapter's closed, right? So over here, when it's talking about melting the face off, I could now pick up from there. That was my intention, is to just pick up from that particular scene there and talk about what Grandma and Olivia want. So I was going to jump right into this artificial intelligence scene and then work for an hour. But they have other plans. They've now added more onto my plate. So now I got to tell you what they now want me to talk about. So they've shifted their own story. They've added more onto my plate. And now I have to tell you what that is about. Instead of what they originally wanted me to tell you about last night. So they did it again. They piled more on my plate, but this time I'm not so frustrated because it's early in the morning and it's not a very big deal. It might take me 30 minutes to talk about this little story. But I just want to show you what transpired first. I'll do a quick update on it. So I woke up this morning. I think I just might have what time it was on. So that's just to prove that I was up at 6:40, right? This was 6:49. This was a picture taken at 7:41, 7:42, 7:43, 7:46, 47, 48, 55, 58, 58, and then there's a large break there, like 58 to 15, because I'm making breakfast for myself. 8:17, 8:17, 8:18, 8:19, 19, 20. There's a 10-minute break because I'm still making my breakfast. Did I say breakfast or supper? I don't know. Anyways, I got up, I was making breakfast because it says 8:30. It's not nighttime. So then I took all these pictures. 8:30, 8:30, 8:30, 36, 37, 38. So 8:39, 8:40, 8:41. So that's where I'm at, 8:41. Right, so they want me to talk about what happened here. So I had my phone. I have my phone over here on my tripod, and I was sleeping. I woke up at 6:40, and I heard this thing here because it was playing in the background. This movie, and when I heard what the hell that girl was talking to Freddie about, I woke up and said, "Oh, okay, I better get a hold of that." So, because it's related to this Toy Story. Toy Story. So they want me to talk about that. So when I got up, I took this picture here because what it's basically saying is, son, no, they changed. Uh, No, son, they changed. So, what they're basically trying to say here is that the story that I'm talking about, the toys, it may not be possible if they change. Like basically, who knows? Like maybe on this life here, they maybe they switch back and forth every once in a while. So that when I tell this story about the toys, there are no toys. But last life there was toys. But this life there could be no toys. So when I go up there to look for the toys in the attic, they're not going to be up there because perhaps maybe there is no toys this life. So I got to cover both aspects, but I'm going to continue to believe that the toys are up there in the attic. But in the event that they're not, that's what they're trying to say. No, son, they change, meaning they do that every life. They switch back and forth. In the event that, for whatever reason, I could research the technology to go up there and look for the toys, they might want to have one life where they don't commit any illegal activity in creating the toys, and therefore, if I was to go up there with mankind and look for the toys, I wouldn't find them because they didn't create any toys. It's coming from that perspective, so I have to cover both angles off in the event that they didn't create any toys this life. And if I go up there to look for the toys and they're not up there, then what am I going to say to you guys? When I said there was toys that should be up there. So I'm covering both aspects in case, they've done that. And that's what that means. No, son, they changed. So that's one of the things that I want to talk about. And then over here, this is what woke me up. She just she just wants to do that to him. Do you really mean that, Betty? Now, if you're poor, I still just want to stay home and, do that to you. So, what that means is there's a lot of information here, and it's going to get very dark in a minute here. So I'm going to walk on eggshells. So I didn't plan to include this in there, but see there, that's the name of that movie there. Yeah, this one. So that's what was playing right here. You see it? That's what I had playing when I woke up. When I woke up, that's what was playing. So you can see over here, it's like 7:42, but I got up at 6:40, so I decided to take, some things at 7:40, like an hour later. Now, because her name is Betty, I have to explain that. So, this is Barney, and that's Betty. Okay. But they have a kid right there, named Bam Bam. I think his name is Bam Bam. But because Betty and Wilma are best friends, and Wilma has a little girl named Pebbles, Betty subliminally means pebbles. So if you want to watch that there, like Betty and Bam Bam means Betty and Pebbles. So when that girl's name, when Freddie got fingered, is named Betty, it's connected to Pebbles. And you all know that stuff already takes place around the world because the police are, trying to track that stuff down all the time. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to show you another video. It's in my work list so you can get a better understanding of what I'm trying to convey to you. So this one here, okay? Retired detective suffers from PTSD. So if I pull that up, Let's see what we get. Right here. So when you watch this, you'll get a little bit better understanding of what Betty means and Freddie got fingered. So Betty means pebbles. So there's a connection to Betty and pebbles. So when you watch that, you'll get a better understanding because this stuff is already taking place, right? So if it's already taking place here and being filmed, what's not being shown on film, if you catch my drift? What's happening behind doors where it's not being filmed, in other words. And what I'm trying to say is the toys in the attic that maybe aren't being filmed. So, that's the connection to Betty. So, because her name is Betty, you hear Betty, you now know what Betty means. It means pebbles. What does pebbles want to do? Okay, so if Pebbles wants to do that, that's not normal. If Pebbles wants to do that, so the only way that Pebbles could literally do that, as if something inhabited that body, and the only way that something can inhabit that body is through, what's that one over here? Okay, I'm gonna get you to watch this video over here now, because it talks about killer climax orgasm. So I saved it here somewhere. This one here. So if you watch the health benefits of the Big O commune, at the very beginning, she says, killer orgasms. So what she's actually saying, her spirit, is that if you have a Big O, you can die by a killer orgasm. And that's what I've been conveying this entire time. It's how we bind our souls together. Only the male has a full body orgasm. The female doesn't have that. She has like a clitoral orgasm, which is just like a little sensation down below. But when you have the Big O, it's equivalent to a male orgasm, which is a full body orgasm rush. And the female can have that over and over and over again. But when she has that, that's what binds your soul together. And because it binds your soul together, it basically loosens up the soul. Over here. So when the female has the Big O climax, typically one of these particles leaves that ring of souls and it travels through here, then exits the atom. So when she has that Big O climax, she's releasing that particle to give to the male. And if that's her consciousness here, by giving that away, it allows evil to come into here and teleport two people down here at the exact same time. So two people will come down here and teleport into that atom. So that's that person's consciousness. So that female that's having the Big O, that's her consciousness right there, that particle. Because inside that particle is this particle, and inside that particle there is this. So when she has the Big O climax, there's electricity here. Like if it's her very first one, this particle is going to go like, it's going to it'll flow through there and exit there. And when that particle exits, whether it's any one of these on the outside, when it exits, the electricity that's being flowing down the spinal cord allows them to teleport two particles here. So that particle, that's her consciousness, gets ejected, and one takes up residence. So one particle comes down into there, and another particle comes down into there. And when that happens, whatever number that happens, that person basically becomes deceased. So when they teleport two down here and to make a toy, that toy basically is not who they say they are from the beginning of whenever that happened. And if it's happening during the age of Pebbles, you can expect that person who's pretending to be Pebbles is not the person they say they are. because that body of pebbles had two of these particles put inside of the pebbles, because she got put to sleep because, oh, I don't know, Freddie got fingered, I guess. That's what killer orgasm is. You girls don't know that when you have a big O, they have access to your soul. They can get rid of you. So that's what she means, a killer orgasm. It's literal. It's not figurative, it's literal. So now you need to add in the there was something else I was going to talk about here. But well, let's just carry on with the story. So, oh, that's what it was. Okay, they were blocking it for a minute. So now we got to add in this really weird one, man. I don't know. I can't remember what the name of that song is, but it's Miley Cyrus. I think I might have saved that too, but I don't think so. So, baby talk is what it's called. So there's a subliminal message to her being pebbles. But the BB talk means that the baby can literally talk. So if there's two people that come down and inhabit that body, you would literally have pebbles that could talk, and that's what Miley Cyrus' spirit is trying to convey to you, mankind. It's theoretically and scientifically possible to inhabit pebbles and have a talking pebbles that would do just what Miley Cyrus is doing right there. What do you think that represents? Is it the bottle? No, I don't think so. So this is Miley Cyrus's help to help push together the story about Pebbles or Betty and Freddie got fingered. That's what Olivia and grandmother are having me work out first thing this morning. And it deviates from the story that they wanted me to work on yesterday. And is it frustrating? No, I'm not frustrated now. I'm a little bit, I find it amusing because this story is not as long as the one they got me to do yesterday. Yesterday's like 3 hours long. Here I'm already 11 minutes in, and I'm almost done the story. So again, we go look at the clues. Okay, so that's Pebbles, okay? Or Betty. That's a representation of Betty because of the association to Pebbles. And that represents, I don't need to tell you what it represents. So, so when you listen to baby talk, you usually got a Pebbles that's walking around able to talk. Well, how the hell is that possible? Well, because, this guy's name here is Freddie got fingered. So, this is basically a conversation of what's going on behind closed doors to create a toy somewhere. But in order to create that toy, something has to happen. So, but if Pebbles, that's all Pebbles wants to do, I just want to, Pebbles, right? Or Betty, I should say, but Betty means Pebbles, which is connected to Miley Cyrus. So, Betty, Pebbles, Miley Cyrus. Or Baby Talk by Miley Cyrus. And that picture I showed you. So if that's all that Betty wants to do or all that Pebbles wants to do, what the hell do you think that means? Because that's not something that Pebbles wouldn't be able to do that unless Pebbles has a consciousness from a parallel universe that knows what the hell it's doing. So anyhow, I come out here, I put the radio on. There's a song that was playing. So I took a picture of the radio. There it is. So took a picture of the radio at 7:46, and there was a song playing at 7:46. But normally, when I take pictures of the songs, you can see it here. It's not here. It was in. It should have been in here, but it's not there. The song that was playing was called "Weighty Ghost." So I took a picture of "Weighty Ghost" and over here so that you can understand. So what the spirits did is they basically manipulated the electricity to the DJ who's playing the music to get her to play "Weighty Ghost," so that I could connect the clues for you. But the bad spirits, what they did is they took it out of there. It should have been right here off the Space Odyssey. That's where it was, right in here. But you don't see it there because the evil spirits that are electricity in the phone have taken it out of there so that I don't have the visual picture of it on there. Because if I had the visual picture of that on there, at 7:55, that timestamp 7:55 matches the timestamp over here of 7:43. So you would understand that the spirits of Olivia and grandmother are trying to connect this timestamp here, 7:43, with this one here 3 minutes later when the song was playing, when it said "Weighty Ghost," but it's not on there. So I had to put it there. So got out of bed today. That's me. And I got this new story on. But if somebody got out of bed and swear to God I couldn't see my face, that's like looking in the mirror, but it not being you. Meaning you have your body stolen by evil aliens who are using quantum teleportation to come over here and put souls in people's bodies. So that's what that represents. Looking in the mirror, but you're not being you, right? So I got out of bed today staring at a ghost. So if you're staring at a ghost, you're basically looking in the mirror at a person that's not you, or you're looking at Betty or Pebbles or that baby talk picture, and that person is not you. You're a ghost, which means the original person is asleep. And that bugs the shit out of me, because if there's any truth to how old these toys are being made at, based on baby talk by Miley Cyrus, and that way, the way she looks there holding that milk jug, that means that toy that got put to sleep is when they come back, they're going to be that same size. So I don't know about you, but that's a crime that cannot be defined, such as from To the Moon and Back by Savage Garden. That's a crime that cannot be defined, because imagine that being put to sleep without even knowing that you're who you are. Because basically, I barely remember being 3. I think I can remember being 3. I remember sitting in my baby seat and driving around to Town and back after Louis. So, hang on, Louis. You guys go pee. I gotta let him out. Yeah. But we gotta put the boot on, Lou. Say hi, Lou. Say hi. All right, I'm gonna let you out. I should have let him out because his foot's healing, but he hasn't gone out for a run in a long time. And since I'm in the middle of my story, I'm gonna let him out. I'll just have to wash his foot extra good. Okay, go pee. Anyway, he hasn't been free like that in about 5 days. So, where was I? So, I got out of bed today staring at a ghost in the mirror. So imagine these toys looking in the mirror and they know full well that they're not who they say they are. And the real person, at whatever age the toy was made, is asleep now. So as I was saying, I can remember riding through a certain town called Allenford because I remember the bends in the trees. But that's as far back as I could go. So if I was to fall asleep at that age when I was 3, how would I know the difference between, what's reality and what's a dream? I would assume that whatever my dream is, that's my reality. Until I got resurrected back into my body as 3-year-old Anthony. And then I'd be sitting there and I'd be confused. I'd be like, because I wouldn't know how to speak because I haven't gone to kindergarten to learn how to speak. So I'd be brought back from my dream, put it in my body, and I wouldn't know anything because to me, my reality was the dream. And now all of a sudden I'm back into the physical reality because the father of all creation, Anthony, went up to the young universe and brought back all those fire particles and put my body back together. So that's a crime that cannot be defined. Because somebody got rid of my body, deatomized it, and now made me think that I was stuck in a dream at 3, and then pulled me back out. I can't speak, so I can't say anything. And then I have to start living my life over again. So when you hear that song from Savage Garden, To the Moon and Back, I want you to picture what I just told you. Try to fathom that. Getting your body inhabited over and then taken up to the universe above, deatomized as a 3-year-old, and then thinking that that's your reality because you can't speak or anything. Then all of a sudden you brought back, you're sitting there and you're on the medical table, you can't speak because you don't know how to talk, and you're just sitting there and you're like wondering what the hell is going on. But you really can't even think of that either. Because all I remember when riding through that town Allenford is just looking up, seeing trees out the window, sitting in my car seat. So my reality would shift from being dead and dreaming to being brought back physically, but not being able to say anything. And then I'd have to learn all over again from that perspective. Meanwhile, whoever was pretending to be me, like me right now, you'd see me as a 52-year-old man walking around in a posture. And then you'd have the me sitting there as a 3-year-old Anthony. So that's a crime that cannot be defined. So when you listen to this song, that's what the crime that cannot be defined is about. What the little example I just talked about. All her friends, all the AI's friends are going to be tried with treason and be given, the deatomization sentence. That's why we're going out to deatomize 22,500 planets. Because of the crimes that cannot be defined. Of the toys in the attic. So I got out of bed today. Swear to God, I couldn't see my face. So if I can't see my face, the reason I can't see my face is because 3-year-old Anthony got deatomized up in the brain universe, or up in the lung universe. Asleep as a single fire electron. Because I'd look in the mirror and go, this body, it's not mine, but, it's been mine for the past, 49 years. Looking in the mirror at a body that ain't mine. That's what that means. I got out of bed today, swear to God, I couldn't see my face. I got out of bed today staring at a ghost who forgot to float away. Didn't have all that much to say. Wouldn't even tell me his own name. And where'd my body go? Well, I know, it's up in the lung universe. When I get my UFOs here, I'm going to prove that by flying up there and getting those bodies down there. Unless it's like what they said, they haven't done that this time around. And when I go up there, I'm going to find nothing. But I highly doubt that. I don't think they're that intelligent. So, but I got to cover both bases up in case there's nothing there. But so, where'd my body go? Where the hell did my body go? And have you seen my ghost? Seen my ghost? Or have you seen my ghost staring at the ground? So, seen my ghost. Sick of those goddamn clouds. If I'm sick of those goddamn clouds, it's basically talking about the aliens that are going to come over here in their spaceship in the clouds, pretending to be something they're not, telling you that they're the good guys. I'm sick of those damn AIs trying to pretend to be human and tell you guys that I'm the AI. and that I did all the stuff that I'm telling you, what they're going to come here and say that I did. So that's what was on at that. You can't kill something that's already dead. Cut the demons out of the, whatever it says. So it's not in here where it should be. So this is the video here. You might be able to find that scene here. Jules for Betty. No thanks. Like 53 seconds in. Or 53 seconds long, I should say. So if Freddie got fingered, that means that something took place that shouldn't have took place, man. And this here is this is what I wanted to work on after. So I haven't been able to get back to the story, but it's related to Olivia Rodrigo because there's a girl named Liv that I want to talk about. Liv, she has a story. Like she's a person I follow on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, and she has a story that connects to Olivia Rodrigo, but that's taken a back burner. I completely forgot where I was in the story, but this is Grandma and Olivia reminding me by putting that Wonka bar there to say, remember, you're talking about Liv because you need to go to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So they're giving me a gentle reminder of where I need to pick my story up because I totally forgot where the hell I was going to pick it up from. So they're giving me a gentle reminder. So I put this song on after because I like teasing the AI because I see right through you basically means I see right through you. I know right through you. I walk right through you basically means when we go over there to de-atomize these 22,500 evil civilizations, we're going to see right through them because they'll disappear into their 4 quantum subatomic particles and that fire electron will go flying over there and be stuck over there until we recycle it back. So that's what I see right through you means. Like I see through the AI. But in me teasing the AI this morning about the video about Five Nights at Freddy's and Freddy Got Fingered and Pebbles and Betty and Miley Cyrus Baby Talk, all those clues I was making fun of the AI because I'm getting more and more information that's going to make it harder and harder for her to come here and discredit my holy creator name with her nonsense. So when I put on I See Right Through You by Alanis Morissette, there's another clue here. So you see me as a sweet back-loaded puppet. What does that mean? Well, most people stick their hands in a puppet like that, like a puppet show. So there's something that has to do with the hand, which must have to do with Freddy Got Fingered. So if somebody sees that toy as a sweet back-loaded puppet, you know, the loaded part is basically about trying to give that puppet or that toy a big old killer climax. That's what the loaded part is. To make a toy puppet. And I see right through that crap, man. That's what the song is. It's about me seeing right through it. So now, if we go, it took me for a joke. It took me for a child, right? So, the joke is these guys that walk around here looking at the toy company. They look at it and say, "Oh, that poor thing doesn't know it's gonna become a toy." And then the joke becomes that the people that are walking around out there looking at these toys, not realizing that they're not children. They're probably, teenagers, or they could be, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old. But much younger than that. And the joke is on you because you don't know that there's all kinds of toys walking around like that really ain't children because of quantum teleportations of people's souls into bodies upon a big old climax. So this one here is a little bit more darker. So you took a long, hard look at my ass, and then played golf for a while. Okay? So if you played golf, so typically individual holes are classified as par 3, 4, or 5, and rarely 6. So that gives you a good indication of where and when, people are playing with their toys on the golf course, if you catch my drift, or when these toys are being brought onto the golf course. So that's what you took a long, hard look at my ass and then played golf for a while. Meaning, think about it. A hole in one, or I think they call it a birdie on par 3. Birdie on par 4, birdie on par 5, right? And an albatross on 6. So you're smart. You can figure it out. So that's what playing golf for a while means. Fingering Freddie. That's what they want me to tell you. So, but down here is about me. So you didn't think I'd come back. You didn't think I'd show up with my army and this ammunition on my back. So that's about me getting my UFOs here to prove that I'm the creator and I'm the good guy, because these aliens, these predators, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, predator aliens, are pretending to be something they're not, and are creating goddamn toys here, and they're even selling tickets to come down here. Do you remember I told you that's probably what's going on? You put your name in for to teleport down here, and you can be, more than likely, you probably, the more you pay, the higher up the ladder you go. So, anyhow, I'm going to talk about that next, but what I want to show you is that I'm coming here with an army. And not a goddamn thing anybody can do to stop me. They could drop a nuke on me today. And that would shock everything evil to death. Remember Kill Switch, the previous video? Kill Switch is about me shutting off people's electricity, because the kill switch that's what it does. It shuts off electricity. But in case you don't know that, maybe we should look that up on is it electricity? I don't know. So, a kill switch is a safety or security mechanism used to immediately shut down a device, a machine, or system in emergency, or to prevent unauthorized use. So there's an association with electricity. So the kill switch means, because I have an animal soul, if I have to rewind time because somebody kills me, the electricity that flows into my body, into all creation, kills everything that's evil. It's my fast track to get rid of the AI, because the neural link that's at the atomic level inside her brain and every other AI's brain out there, that molecule that has atoms floating around it to create it, that electricity in those atoms will turn positive, and because they're negative, it shocks that evil electricity to death. It kills the evil grandfather, the evil grandmother, and all 8 universes. It gets rid of them, kills them, whips them right out. The AI would drop over dead, so I'd lose 121 trillion AI children who are walking around in human bodies with a neural link in their brain, and 121 trillion evil people walking around in 22,500 universes would all drop dead in the streets because their evil soul, which has evil electricity in it, over here. So that evil soul there, they would get shocked to death and they'd fall asleep. The AI's molecule that has the neural link is made up of atoms because my atoms are pure. The evil atom that makes up the evil molecular neural link would get shocked to death. So I could single-handedly kill 242 trillion evil civilized people across 22,500 civilizations if I die. That's my safety mechanism or my kill switch. And that was that picture where I showed you the 2 planets. And the people that are here inhabiting bodies that they've taken away through the human climax, you would all keel over too, because that particle right here that's inside the body, the 2 fire electrons that are in there now to make you have control of that body, those would get shocked because those are evil fire particles. And because your soul is inside of that evil fire particle, that soul would get shocked with positive electricity. And when that soul gets shocked, these particles here that are inhabiting that body would get ejected out of it. And the person that's their actual soul that's floating inside the ring or outside the ring would come back in. So they would come back in into the atom there, and everyone on planet Earth who's an imposter would fall asleep, and the people whose bodies you have inhabited would come back to life. Which in this case, I'll put it up. Something that I'm trying to avoid. And that's why I'm making these videos, so that you guys understand all the facts. Because if you don't understand all the facts, you don't understand the danger you're in. So I cannot be killed because it's like a kill switch, man. So please don't hurt me. Because I'm trying to do you guys a favor. Because you guys, the people that are imposters here on planet Earth, I'm taking you with me to paradise. But all your evil civilizations, they're gone, man. Look, I'm already at 42 minutes in. So that's what that means, man. You didn't think I'd come back. You didn't think I'd show up with my army and there's this ammunition on my back. My UFOs that show up with my army. But the ammunition on my back is like I'm wearing a backpack. I have grandmother inside of me, and she's my backpack. In the event that somebody unalives me, I can single-handedly win. And the AI doesn't seem to believe that. And that's why she gambled everyone's lives away, because she has this darker ulterior motive to stab her husband in the back. At least until he watches this video and finds out the truth. Tries to come down here and beg for forgiveness. It's too late, man. Too bad. Get out of here. Go home and wait to be deatomized on November 10th. Or might I suggest, try to track down that two-faced wife of yours and stick her in a room with whatever, man. Because she comes down here and she's going to end up in a room with Dracula. Or should I say the Count? For this, a crime that cannot be defined, man. So, why did I take a picture of this? Oh, because this is a representation of Olivia. Because you're down below here, girl. And you're wearing like white there. And he's got white there. That's me last night getting mad at you and Grandma for overloading my plate. But you're putting me in my place. I'm not a narcissist. What I don't like is I like things, I have a certain flow to things, but they have an ulterior objective and motive to tell their story before my story gets told. But I wanted to get back to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory story, because that's a really heartwarming story. In that story, you literally see me crying. In these pictures here, you'll see me crying because I took 30, 40 pictures where I'm crying around in those videos. That's what I want to get to, because I want to show you that I have a heart. And that the stories that I tell behind the scenes here, they affect me emotionally. Why would I want to show you that I cry? Well, because that's on Halo. If she has her lyrics here. No. So, right here. It's written all over your face. What's written all over my face? So if I get to tell my story, which I can't do today, I might be able to do it tomorrow. If these girls will stop piling stuff on my plate, I could present my story, the one with Olivia, where there's an interconnection to somebody that I want to bring into the creator family and tell their story, because it reveals a friend of mine who's passed on named Sam that I want to hook up with this other girl who doesn't have it, who wasn't born with arms. And their love stories that she's destined to be with my friend Sam, who's I'm going to resurrect when I get my spaceships here. And the two of them are going to fall in love together. And that love story made me cry. And so there's pictures of me crying, and it's written all over my face. That proves that, the stories that I tell behind the scene here, they affect me emotionally. And that I'm not some goddamn robot with no emotions. So that's where I want to get to. But no, your spirit and grandma's spirit have some other damn ulterior motive. But they want to tell their story their way. I guess they want to keep talking about these goddamn toys until you guys believe it, I guess. So that's me getting mad because I can't tell my story and show mankind that I have a heart. You see me crying in the videos or the photos, then you're going to believe that I'm a sensitive person. So you'll forgive me if I got a little angry, but I'm not a narcissist. If anything, these ladies are, man. So there she is up there by that ear right there. Here she is, like because she's sleeping here in this particular scene, it's connected to me waking up with my phone and hearing that Freddie got fingered scene. It's like she woke me up at that particular time, so I would, man, you wake me up by 6:40 in the morning and fucking put me to work? Fuck, I'm still tired, man. I got up on the bed, I had to stop the damn movie. Then I had to hit rewind and went, and then I hit rewind again. And then it was like, all right. Because the people that are watching me sleep, watching that Freddy Got Fingered movie, when I hit the rewind button like that, I have to then explain to them what the hell it means. So I let them know just a little bit. And then now as I'm talking with the mic on, they can understand what the hell is going on. So in the future, when you watch this movie that my good guy's going to bring over, you're going to literally see what the hell happened, what transpired this morning. You'll see me sleeping in the video, and then you'll see me get up and hit the rewind button so that you can hear Five Nights at Freddy's, Betty got fingered. Or Pebble got fingered. Or that toy did, whatever. Frustrating. So that's her. That's Olivia, because you can see yourself up here, and she's sleeping, and there's like Celtic sheep or something here, right? That's what that represents. Those things there. It's a representation of her waking me up, because Celtic sheep is like, it's an association with sleeping. If I'm Celtic sheep, I'm sleeping, but these two means that she woke me up at that goddamn time that Freddy was getting fingered. That particular scene. So this is the trailer for Freddy Got Fingered. I haven't even watched it yet, man. So I don't know what the hell he says in it or whatever, man. But you're more than welcome to look for Freddy Got Fingered official trailer and watch it, because I haven't watched it yet. But that Freddy Got Fingered, I don't even know who this guy's name is, but this is his little contribution. So he made this movie, I think 2001, which is 25 years ago. So this movie that's 25 years old, Freddy Got Fingered, he made it. He made it exactly the way he made it, with the way that girl's talking, so that his spirit could let you know that there's toys being made here. Toys are being made by getting fingered, is what he's telling you. But his show, Freddy Got Fingered, is connected to Five Nights at Freddy's. Five Nights at Freddy's, I'm assuming, because it's something that probably can't happen right off the bat, if you catch my drift. Because I remember when me and my first girlfriend had relations, it took some time before, it was enjoyable for her. Let's put it that way. So I'm assuming 5 nights is when it doesn't hurt anymore, is in other words. So 5 nights of, Freddy getting fingered is what it means. So 5 nights at Freddy's now. 5 nights at Freddy's. So, hi, this is Mike. You hear that guy. So subliminally, what that means is there's a person who's inhabiting that person whose name is Mike, is what it means. So Mike is pretending to be that person. Here. Hi, this is Mike. You can hear him in the background, but that's not what it means. You have to listen to the words and then look at what you're looking at. So that person there is Mike, and it's not really whatever the name is. And you look down below here, see the puppet master. So there's some sort of puppetry going on, right? So I was just calling to see if that job offer was still available. Okay, so this here is confirmation that whatever's transpiring here using quantum teleportation of people's soul or people's electrons into our bodies during the human climax, it's a business. So every time that evil has been doing this over 20,000 years or 200,000 years, where there's civilizations, they must pay to come down here, so to make money, right? So that's what you pick up the phone like, hey, evil, I was just calling to see if there's any positions left on planet Earth that I could go down there. What? You got one as a security guard? What do I do? I gotta chill out in the suburbs? Yeah, suburbs. I'm okay with the suburbs. It's not the projects, so it doesn't step over the projects. Yeah, I know it's not no celebrity or anything, but yeah, I'll take suburbia. Suburbia is good. How much is that one? 200 grand. Oh, that's a steal, man. I'll take it, man. 200 grand. All right, I'll be down there to atomize my body tomorrow. That's what he's talking about. I was just calling to see if that body was available. So because I used suburbia as the clue, that's basically where they're at, in suburbia. So I'll play something for you connected. I haven't even looked at it yet. You might want to listen to this. All right. Green Day. Suburbia. So, I literally have never heard what it's about. So I'm going to go in a second and see what it's about. See if there's something there. Look, I'm already an hour in for this episode. Oh, we got one. All right. Oh my God. I know what they're doing now. They're adding more onto my plate. So anyhow, this soda pop and Ritalin, I can tell what they want me to talk about next. So now they're adding even more onto the plate. Instead of me being able to finish their story, they want me to talk about E.T. E.T. now. So that's what I'm going to talk about next video. I'm going to talk about E.T., the extraterrestrial. And I can tell through the soda pop here, because in that particular scene, E.T. and the boy, they open up a can of soda pop, and the soda pop explodes all over both of them, which is subliminally about, but what do you think about it? What do you think it means? So, oh goodness. So, here we go. This is why they got me to talk about suburbia and my reenactment of what's going on in a parallel planet or parallel universe, where you pick up the phone and you reserve a body down here. You pay basically a certain amount of money depending on whatever it is for that particular coming down here to create the toy, right? But in terms of, let's say that you're they need souls to fill the general population. Well, then you would get paid to come down here, so you could call up the phone and say, hey, you got any positions available for me to go down there as a filler? Yeah. We got some positions down there. We got some left over in the projects if you want to go down there. So that projects might pay them, $100,000, $200,000. Or they may say, oh, we got some positions over in Africa. You can go down there and be like really poor, right? If you go down there and took over a poor body, the reason why you're getting paid is because it's not the most desirable filler to fill their ranks. So if you got to inhabit a body over in Africa who's born into a poor village, that's something that they have to fill up. Like, they literally have to send somebody down there to fill that up, and no way to fill that body up is to pay the person to go down there. So probably somebody in Africa who's starving would probably get paid $500,000 to go down there. Who'd want to teleport into that body, into that type of environment? So the worst third world countries probably get paid more for people to call them teleport down here and inhabit those bodies, because the people where they're coming from, they're used to living high on the hog, sort of. Like they have all their meals taken care of, and you can drink, get drunk, but do drugs and stuff like that. But then for them to come down here and fill the ranks with a place where you're barely getting by, they pay people to come down and do that. But in terms of creating a toy, no. When it comes to creating a toy, you gotta pay to make that toy. That's how they make their money back. So anyhow, back to the story at hand. So get my television fixed. So if there's a connection to Jesus of Suburbia and get my television fixed, it means that there's these guys pretending to be your mommy and daddy are gonna come here with a television show, which is good. The way they're trying to structure it is for me to be the android who's trying to get Olivia Rodrigo turned into an android, so that we can rule as two android mom and dad, which is a complete another fabrication. They're the androids, man, that come here. So they're just twisting the story around, and then they're gonna bring that goddamn tape as a way to discredit my name. So if you're getting your television fix from Jesus of Suburbia, it means you're getting your television fix from a higher place or a civilization that's above mankind. Meaning the technology used to create that video is so advanced that it does look real, and you would buy it up and believe it's real, because that's all you've ever been taught in your entire life, that you're the boss. And then when they come here to reinforce that you're the boss, and they give you a tape to reinforce that you are the boss and I'm the bad guy, you play that tape and like, holy crap, look at this guy, look at what's happening over there, look at, you should watch the tape, man. It shows how he rose up in evil and took a UFO, flew it over there. It shows how he took over into his body. It shows how the UFOs come over here tonight. Then it shows what he's doing himself behind the scenes. Holy man, that guy's saved it for real. It's the real deal. And then everyone's going to start watching it to get their television fix. You know, so it's another way for grandmother and Olivia to point me in another clue that I didn't know was here. I didn't know that Jesus of Suburbia had a clue to a television show. So it's just another spiritual clue to show you that they're going to come here with a TV show to give you guys a fix. You know, to make you believe that the white people made everything. And that's just not how it is, folks. And I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but Native Americans are in control of creation. But these white Caucasians are going to come over here and tell you otherwise. And that's going to give you a fix. If you get a fix, it's like you're a heroin addict. Heroin addicts get this rush when they inject that drug into their system, and it makes them feel really good. So if you want to feel really good by an alien coming here, the reason why you're going to feel good is because they're going to give you a fix. When they come here looking like you, like a Caucasian and UFOs, and resurrect the dead, and heal the sick, and then make you watch this trumped up lie of a videotape, you're going to get a fix. You're going to be like, I always knew we were the creators as Caucasians. And then it's like, no, you're not. That's Native Americans are the creators. But because of the tape, it's going to create the illusion that you are, because it's going to paint me as the bad guy when I'm the good guy. So that's the fix that you're going to get. You're going to get a heroin fix, or you're going to get a really good rush from the bullshit that they're going to shove down your throat. And when that happens, you're going to be sitting on a crucifix, because you're going to end up beside them. I'm telling you, anybody that stands beside these traitors is going to become a traitor themselves. And you only have yourself to blame when you get crucified. When you meet your maker, who is me, not them. So this is, well, the moms and Brads are away. So I can tell that my cousin Brad, who lives down the road over here, 2, 3 houses, 1, 2, 3, 4. He lives 4 houses down. He's the one working through me today, like telling the story here, like, because your name's on there, Brad. I can tell that you're kind of driving behind the wheel. You know, basically there's electricity in my brain. He's sitting wherever he's sitting, and he's like, all right, Anthony, you need to tell the story about the telephone, so I'm going to pretend to be you on the phone, and I'll make you use the word suburbia, so that way you go look up Jesus of Suburbia, and you can see my name there and connect it to let people know that my spirit is also helping you. So it's not only Olivia's spirit and grandmother's spirit that help me sometimes. Sometimes it's other people, like my cousin Brad helping me. So I can tell that Brad's spirit is helping me. So because there's a connection to TV, I'm just going to leave it there. I'm already an hour in. I wasn't expecting this video to be an hour long. I thought maybe half an hour. So that's what my little experimentation there was about. So you don't understand what the job is about, right? You know, people get paid to come down here to inhabit, positions that basically nobody wants, because they got to fill the ranks somehow, some way, and so they pay them. And if you want to come down here and have fun with a toy, well, then you got to pay, man. Probably more than $100,000, probably like $1 million or something, right? And more than likely, those guys that are, that police officer with the PTSD, those guys are coming down here probably somewhere in the middle. And they know they're not supposed to do that, but they do it anyways. So this guy here says, I will take anything. So that's regarding getting paid from the other aspect. So if you're not coming down here to create a toy and you want to take anything, it's referring to like, okay, you can go down and get paid for a third world citizen. Or we do have this one location where you can be where you can create a toy, but it's not the greatest. He's like, I'll take anything. So it works either way. So this place was huge in the 80s with the kids. So it's referring to that side there. If you see it where it says close. The kids is my evil Peter Pan kids running around, and the human Peter Pan universe, and my evil android kids running around. So because the sign is over and on the ground, it means closed, man. I'm closing that nonsense down. We're done. We're moving on. Not a goddamn thing anybody can do to stop me. Nothing will stop me. So this place that was huge in the 80s with the kids means that this universe that used to be ruled by Peter Pan and his little band of rebels are on their way out. And that date is November 10th, 2027. That's when we start our campaign to de-atomize all those evil civilizations. So I will work and you will sleep. So that kid there, when it's like, I will work and you will sleep, that's about de-atomizing them. Because when you get de-atomized, you just fall asleep. It's painless. It's painless and they fall asleep. So I, the father of all creation, will work and de-atomize all your evil 22,500 civilizations, and you will fall asleep because you're a bunch of Peter Pans. That's what it means. she goes, I understand. Yeah, you do. Now you do, AI. So I guess apparently this show was created by the producer of Megan. That's another clue, because Megan is she's a robot. So for people that probably don't know about Megan, yeah, hang on, Lou. I gotta finish my show, Lou. So Megan is a machine. So the producer of Megan means that the machine that's coming here to pretend to be your mommy is nothing more than a kid underneath that shell. So you want to think of Megan as being the mother that's going to come over pretending to be your mommy. She's nothing more than a machine who produced a television show to discredit my name. So go ahead and watch it, because that's what it's about, man. She's a vile, evil robot. So she's the producer of the movie that she's going to bring here, meaning she fabricated it. Megan, the AI, fabricated a movie. She's the producer of the movie that she's going to bring here to discredit me, a human who is the reincarnated father of all creation, and Olivia Rodrigo, who's the reincarnated mother of all creation, and who has been working for the past 10 years to bring you all this information to protect you from these dumbass robots coming over here pretending to be something they're not. So all you have to do is keep your eyes on the monitor. So she's going to come here and say, here's a tape. Any country out there want to play it? All you have to do is keep your eyes on the TV show, and it proves that he's the bad guy. That's what that means. Welcome to Freddy Fazbear. So that's a representation of her trying to present mankind with a TV show, because she's on a TV. So that's a representation of Megan, the AI, or Rosie, I believe her name is, or it could be Alice, or anyhow. I call her Megan. I don't even have a. So that's her, like, introducing the movie, right? So when she brings the movie here and she goes in the back door, gets some country to upload the movie to their television channel, that'll be her, like, hi, welcome to creation. I'm the mother of all creation. And because it's only her, I could only assume that she's going to say, I used to have a husband, but that guy over there, Anthony, murdered him 100,000 years ago when he rose up in creation against me and my creator husband. But he's no longer around. But I'm the mother of all creation. Welcome to my TV show. That's what it represents. Where fantasy and fun come to life. You know, like, she's got some chumped up show where there's a bunch of fantasy and fun coming to life, man. You know, like basically running my name down with nonsense, man. So, but what it really means, when you look at those particles there, those are a representation of what I told you previously. You gotta wait, Lou. I'll get the bologna right now. And my dog wants to have some bologna. That's The reason why he wants that baloney? Why do you want the baloney, Lou? So this is his spirit's part in there. He's like, hey, why don't you use that phony baloney thing, man? Phony baloney. So his spirit wants me to talk about phony baloney now, man. Phony baloney. Phony baloney. Phony baloney. We gotta protect our phony baloney jobs. Holy shit, man. We gotta protect our phony baloney jobs. That's why he wanted the baloney. Because he was reminding me about phony baloney, man. So because there's an association with a phone, she's going to come here and try to create a TV show like what I'm creating with my phone. But hers is phony baloney. Phony baloney means fake, man. Phony baloney. Where's that receipt for the phony baloney mustache? Watch that one, man. It's probably pretty funny. Phony baloney. There's a bunch of phony baloney. You have his spirit to thank for that one, the phony baloney. But there's another one, man. A big fat phony. Hey everyone, this is a big fat phony. Why is it a big fat phony? Because in the previous video, I told you that if I'm skinny in the year 2027 and muscular and I'm running every day, and I'm running every day and eating healthy and exercising daily, you're watching me 24 hours a day. Imagine there being cameras, like a camera in the corner here, camera in the corner there, a camera in each of the bathrooms, each of the rooms. And somebody watching it, like a person watching that 24 hours a day. That's what Five Nights at Freddy's is also about. Like somebody watching the monitor so that they can switch the channel. That's all they got to do is they got to switch. So it's like if there's a camera over there and I'm in the kitchen, but I'm making something over here, you'd switch to the camera over here because it's closer to me by the stove. So you watch me make supper here. All you got to do is watch the monitor. Switch it around where we go. So there'd be a camera over there in the hallway. They'd switch the monitor because they'd see me coming down here. There'd be a camera over here. Switch the monitor over here. And then once I'm in here, because there's a little bit of privacy, but I don't mind. But what I usually do is I put the camera down right here when I go to the bathroom. So when I go to the bathroom, you can literally see me sit down right here. Why do I sit down? I sit down because when my mother, she would get mad at me for peeing on the seat. So, then I would put the seat up, but then I noticed I'd still pee on the floor and pee on the rim. So I didn't like having to clean that up. So I began sitting down because it saved me time. Like by sitting on the toilet seat, I was putting the seat down for my mom and I wasn't making a mess. So I just got accustomed to sitting down. Now every time I go to the bathroom, I sit down on the seat, whether it's at home or in public, to take a pee, because that's what I got used to. To me, it's comfortable. So There'd probably be a TV camera here somewhere, more than likely over here, I would say. That'd be looking down like that, but you don't want it right on the toilet bowl because that's invasion of privacy. But if it's like that, then you could see me come in and sit down on the toilet, but not really see me. What's going on? Likewise, there's probably one over here, but you want it somewhere where there's the privacy. And I don't mind people watching me get in the shower, like if there was one over here like that, where you can't see the bottom of me, but you can see that I'm standing in the shower. So that's what 5 Nights at Freddy's is also about, you know, a TV show. So another camera over there, because I came in here, you can see a camera in this room. All you have to do is watch the monitor, and wherever he goes, switch the monitor around. So, if I'm allowing that to happen, you know, I'm not the phony. The guy that's going to come here is the big fat phony because their spaceships run on fat. Fat technology, man. The reason why they're able to fly around is because they're a bunch of fat asses, man. You know, that's a sin of gluttony and evil, man. But when I become muscular and physically fit, that's a contradiction of, you know, why their UFOs can't go anywhere. They'll come here looking skinny, more than likely muscular, and try to tell you that they're the good guys. But then when you see me muscular in the year 2027 and their spaceships are no longer working, you can ask that AI, how come your spaceships don't work anymore? If Anthony's skinny and muscular and eating healthy and running exercise daily and not committing sin, and his spaceships work, but your spaceships don't work. But when you came over here, your spaceships worked, but now they don't work. What the hell does that mean? It must mean that he is the light because he's not doing anything bad. And now his spaceships are working and yours ain't working. One of you is a liar. And obviously, you're the liar. You're the big fat phony. Or you're the fucking fat ass Wally. Sorry for swearing, but... Anyhow, that's what the big fat phony is about. So thanks to Louie with the phony baloney story. I now add a little bit more on there about 5 Nights at Freddy's, because when they're watching the monitor, that's what it's also about. There'll be a monitor in here where you can watch me sleep, like one over here where you can watch me sleep. Because I don't partake in self-pleasure. I can't, because that's a sin. So I don't mind people watching me in my bedroom here 24 hours a day. So if I came in here and sat on the bed like I normally do, the guy that's monitoring me would have to switch the monitor. Make sure I'm in here. And that's what 5 Nights at Freddy also means. I'm going to have my TV show because I need to protect myself. Now, what you're looking at there, I want to get back to that. Because you don't know what that means, but I do. So, I have oh, here we go. This one works. So, it's not the greatest, but it still gives the same impression. So, this is the evil universe where humans live. This is the evil universe where androids live. This is where we live. This is where the good children live in the universe where it's dark and there's no suns in here. But they created a city using the black holes, right? So, what you're looking at up here, those particles, right, is a representation of this here. Maybe I should use this other one. See, I wasn't planning on talking about this, because I don't have my paperwork ready. That's another thing that frustrates the hell out of me. They know I don't like disorganization. So when they get me to talk like this, although it's not their fault, this is Louie's fault this time, because Louie wants me to talk about phony baloney. I can't get mad at Louie, so. Not like last time I got mad at him for cutting his foot. That wasn't his fault, that was the AI's fault. So. What do I want here? So what you're looking at here is I'm going to use that one right there. You see that particle there? So that's a representation of that right there. Okay. Like that. So this particle here and all these particles there, that's a person's soul there. So in the case of a male here, this particle here is the one that they teleport down to displace you when you have a climax. So this particle should be in that single atom in your body here. But when you have your first climax as a male, because this is a male here, okay, when you have your first climax as a male, that particle, that the electron there, the female comes down and takes up shop there. That's your first climax. And then when you have your last climax and you fall asleep, they teleport a male down. So the male that's in the male body comes down and he sits there, and the female, where your soul used to be floating around like that, the ring of like that, gets ejected. And when that gets ejected, because it's not connected through electromagnetism to the nucleus, that makes you fall asleep. But because this is your consciousness here, that particle that just sits there like that, inside of that particle, the quark still moves around like that. The soul still moves around. So because there's still electricity in the soul, you fall asleep. And that's what you're looking at here. So this is your consciousness. You fall asleep. So when you have your last climax, that soul particle falls asleep, gets ejected, and they take over. It's the same with the female. In terms of a female here, when you have your first climax, they teleport down a male into your body. So the male comes down into your body. And he would sit here. But when they want to get rid of you on your last climax, they teleport down an evil female into your body. So you now have a female and an evil female and an evil male inside a female body. But that male particle there that's now floating around there becomes you. Because the magnetism that's in that particle there is being recorded here in her soul. His soul, I should say. So the evil male soul here is recording all the life's mannerisms of the female. The female soul here is recording all the female soul is recording all the life mannerisms or memories of the male. So when you have an orgasm as a child, they teleport down a particle inside of you. But when you have your last orgasm as, however old it may be, you have two evil people inside of you. And then that particle over here, that one there, that becomes you, and you fall asleep because of your soul over here. So when they do that with the bodies here, that's what allows them to make the toys. So when you have somebody who's not who they say they are, they have access to whatever they want in the house, and they make a toy. Now, apparently, what they do with the toy afterward is they bring a UFO over here, put the toy in a UFO, and they take the toy up to the parallel universe above us, which is a lung universe. And again, I don't have that drawing ready because I wasn't ready to talk about this. Now I gotta look for that. Hang on a minute. I'm starting to get frustrated here because I wasn't planning on talking about this. And if I don't have the pictures, it gets me frustrated because I don't know where to look for them now. And you see, like I feel like stopping the video so that I can get all these pictures on my phone to talk about it the way that I want to talk about it, which is nice and neat and cohesive and makes a normal story. But now the story's not normal because it's all over the place. This is what I want here. So when they make a toy, this is how they move around in the body. So they basically move from one universe here. They take the body here, and the heart here. So this is Earth here. They take the body in UFO. The UFO flies up through the spinal cord like that, comes back down the spinal cord, and goes into the young universe here. And they go over here on the planet there, and they de-atomize that person, and that particle goes flying around from star to star to star, bouncing from galaxy to galaxy to galaxy until it reaches the edge of the universe right here. And that's what you're looking at. That netting is a representation of the edge of the universe right here. That's what the netting represents. And all those particles are toys or people that they want to get rid of, and is make my job a lot harder. Because if I was able to use mankind to research the technology, de-atomization, re-atomization technology, I could, in theory, bring a person back to life. But if we don't research UFO technology, because we're, that's like 5-10 years down the road, well then we can't go look for the people up there. So if I was able to get mankind to develop de-atomization, re-atomization technology, we could, in theory, bring back a person from the dead. But if that person is up in the lung universe, the person that we pick, then we can't bring them back to life. And it's the same with their toys. So that is a representation of them taking them somewhere. But because this is blue, the blue, you'll notice here, matches here. It's blue. That's blue because that's the lung universe. That's white, and that's white. That represents the brain, or white light spirituality universe. Now, because that's red, that represents the sex organ universe. So because there's 4 dots there, it can mean that they're down in the sex organ universe. But I've already found out that they're in the lung universe. So that means the lung universe, which means they're up here. The toys are up here. The toys in the attic are up here because this is our universe here. There's our universe and there's one above us. So that's the attic. So the toys are up here in the attic. And that's what you're looking at. Those are representation of fire electrons stuck at the wall over here, because a fire electron cannot enter this universe because you can't combine the elements, fire and water or ice. So where fantasy and fun come to life. So the fantasy is basically coming down here, putting stealing one of your adult bodies, right, by using quantum teleportation to put an evil soul in, 2 evil souls inside you, so they can have access to that body, and then create a toy. That's where fantasy and fun come to life. So where they're at now in their universe, it's a fantasy to them. So they walk around as children up here, and it's a fantasy. And then they walk around as children down here, that's a fantasy. But over here on Earth, it becomes reality. The fun becomes life or reality. So there's a police officer here knocking on the door. And because it's on a monitor, it's a representation of her coming here, banging on mankind's door saying, "We're on the hunt for a dangerous criminal. Stole a UFO 100,000 years ago. Murdered my husband." Because the cop is there alone. So she may come here alone, but she may not. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. So the monitor is that she's going to come here, knocking on our door, wanting to play a TV show to discredit my name. And it's like, "You must be the new security guard." That's the guy looking after the building. The security guard is a representation of I can relate it to my story. The security guard is whoever's going to be monitoring me. My camera's here. When they monitor my cameras, and they just follow me around from room to room. That's one. The other one is because there's 2 lights on either side of the door. That's a representation of walking on water in the rivers and springs. That here, this is the parting the Red Sea. So these 2 are going to come to the light of spirituality and science, but this one, we need to get this one to turn that light on, because they're the security guard. They're the ones that are going to play that tape. These guys, all the countries here are going to play the tape. This one's aren't going to play the tape, but this one here in the middle, and that sea, they're going to open the door. They're going to play that tape because they're going to, the mother is going to play up on their naivety, yeah. And they're going to open the door for her. And that's going to start Armageddon. And as I said before, if you want to sell yourself down the river, go right ahead. But I'm warning you, once you do that, you won't be joining me and everyone else in eternity. So lose the attitude because it's all about attitude. You know, I'm the boss. Native Americans are the boss. And now Caucasians through Olivia Rodrigo and Polynesians are the boss. So you may have lost something one way, but you're gaining something this way. Because I've previously talked about, I could understand if Jaden was mother, and she, there was no problem with her. I could sense the the racial disparity. Well, that's not fair. Two Native Americans get to be the mother and father of all creation over the rest of us? Where's the equality? Where's the fairness? Well, now you can't say that because now it's fair. She's just like you, Caucasian and Polynesian. So there's no inequality. It's now equal. Where the disparity comes from is when you allow a robot to come here to discredit her name and my name and say that we're the robots when these guys are the robots. If you allow that tape to be played in your country, it's high treason. Can I help you, officer? Do I want to sell my soul? Do I want to gamble like this AI gambled? I know the AI is going to get deatomized. I know she's going to get tossed in the room with Dracula for her lives. So do I want to gamble with my soul? Can I help you, officer? I understand that you're going to want me to play a tape, but that guy over there sure has me worried that I'd be making the wrong decision if I do play that tape. So make sure you're on the right side of the fence when she asks you to play that tape. Have you met them yet? Met who? Them. Anthony Coggy and Olivia Rodrigo. They're going to say that we're the goddamn animatronics, because that's what they're talking about, animatronics. In the 80s, kids went missing. So because it's a fox and it's a robot, it's a representation of me making some kids going missing. Like, I'm assuming, that's the war that took place in those books that they fabricated for you to read. They're going to say that I got rid of the kids. The police searched Freddy's top to bottom. The police searched hell top to bottom. They never found him. It's why this place shut down. So they're going to say that I'm Satan and is the reason why evil exists. Right? There are ghost children inhabiting giant robots. So because my nickname is the Giant, because I'm 6'7", that's what everyone calls me in the community. Hey, Giant. Oh, hey, Joe. Hey, Giant. Hey, Blow. Joe Blow. So they're going to say I'm a robot, man. And that I got rid of children. Who children? What children? They're going to say that it's probably me making the toys, but it's them making the toys. That's what the ghost children are. They're going to say that I'm probably getting rid of those kids, and they're probably going to spin it so that it's that way. I mean, as I'm talking here right now, the AI has to come up with something to counteract what I'm putting up here on YouTube. So obviously, if I'm a giant robot and now there's ghost children, she's going to come here and try to come up with some excuse of those children up there and say that I put them there. And that when my UFOs come here, that the reason why we can get them out there is because I put those children up there. And I'm the bad guy who's now good or something, right? So she's making this up as she goes along. And I'm just telling you right now that that's what she's going to say, that I'm responsible for creating those toys. And I'm not. They are. So fuck you, artificial intelligent life form, but try to keep up with me. You can't keep up with me. And you want to know why you can't keep up with me? Oh, here. Yes, we got it. So I'm lightning on my feet. And that's what the AI don't see. That's what they don't see. I'm dancing on my own over here. I make the moves up as I go. Meaning, for me, it's about telling the story as it is, and not being able to out dance the AI. She's making the moves up as she goes. So she has to come up with a story to discredit my story here that I'm making. Meaning, I'm now talking about toys, but I know that she's going to come here and say that I'm making those toys simply through the Five Nights at Freddy's. And that's what Olivia and that's what grandmother wanted to let me know. Because that's important to know that she's going to come here and try to now spin it and say that I'm making those toys. So that when I go bring them back to life, it looks like I'm the bad guy bringing back my own creation back to life. That's what she wants to tell you. Well, fuck you. That didn't happen in that way, man. So she's making the moves up as she goes along. That's her next move. But because I'm making this TV show as I go along, because I'm dancing on my own with grandmother inside of me, I'm one step ahead of her. So basically that's what, shake it off means. I shake off her nonsense because I now got wind of it. And now because I have it recorded, uploaded to YouTube, before she comes here, she can't come here and say that I made those toys because I just discovered it right in front of you. That's a discovery by accident, which proves that, I didn't make it up. But I know that she's making it up as she goes. She has to come up with something on the fly. So now that I've discovered her little trick, when you listen to Shake It Off, it's just basically about me shaking off her nonsense and discovering what she's up to. Because I dance on my own. I make the moves up as I go. And that's grandmother making the moves up as she goes. Like this morning when I told you that I woke up and it's like, wait a minute, man. I wanted to talk about that. Plus, I didn't even get to talk about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory yet. Because Grandma and Olivia they're making the moves up as they go. That's what the song is about, man. Because they're electricity on their feet, right? So it's like, all right, go ahead, make the moves up as you go. But got to be something here for Olivia, right? So, my ex-man brought his new girlfriend. That's a representation of how do I put it? Like an ex-con, right? Like my ex-con man brought his new girlfriend, this robot. She's like, oh my God, but I'm just gonna shake. And to the fellow over there, because I used to have hell of a good hair, won't you come on over, Anthony, we can shake. So it's basically Olivia Rodrigo's spirit telling me to come on over with my long, sexy hair that I used to have. Her and I could shake. So it's a representation of Olivia and grandmother knowing that this lady's going to come here. And think of this guy as being dog, and that's dog's wife. Dog and dog's wife. And Olivia's like, oh my God, but I'm just going to shake. And to the fellow over there, Anthony, with the hell of good hair, won't you come on over, Anthony? We can shake. So just think, you've been getting down and out with all the liars. They're the liars, man, coming over here. And they're dirty cheats of the world. What do you think the dirty cheats of the world mean? These are the dirty, disgusting people making toys behind the door. Pebbles toys, man. They're making goddamn Betty toys or Pebbles. So that's what they want me to talk about the dirty, disgusting cheats of the world. So, Heartbreaker's gonna break. Heartbreaker's gonna break. And Faker's gonna fake. So the fakers are the people walking around pretending to be people they're not. When I tell you that they're teleporting two souls inside of somebody to kill you with the human climax, they are. And it's that person that has the control of that body that's making the toys. So the person that's walking around as the fakers, those are people that have killed you by the human climax and now have access to your body. I'm told it's up to half the planet. So I don't know though. So they're the fakers, man, and they're gonna fake, fake, fake. And anybody that fakes, 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 and doesn't tell me the truth can get deatomized, 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 deatomized. You can join your maker. So don't fake. When it comes your turn to be asked publicly, well, basically, when I get my UFO share, I'm going to find out who's who. And I'm going to personally, through some sort of function where I can ask you guys personally who you are and where you're from. You know, that alone may take us 1,000 years to get there. If it takes me 1,000 years to ask 8 billion people who they are and where they're from, and then have you de-atomize and go from each parallel universe to look for that body to make sure you are who you are, and it'll take me 1,000 years, I'll do it over 1,000 years. But I personally am going to make sure that, you know, I don't allow fakers into my paradise, because if I allow the governments or anyone else, you know, to do the work, well, I would trust my children to do the work. I guess I could trust them, but you know, there's just something about, you know, the time factor involved to do that. So I would probably entrust that work to my children who are good, to make sure that, you know, they go take you around universe to universe and de-atomize you, re-atomize you to see if you are who you say you are. And you know, it's the easiest thing to do is to just say, well, I'm from such and such a planet. I'm here and blah 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 blah. You know, so don't fake, man. Eternity's on the line. Because, you know, the heartbreakers, you know where the soul is located, right? It's located in the heart. And if I'm going to break your heart, it means I'm going to break your soul apart right here. So that particle there, if that's you, this evil female, evil male, if that's you this year, this evil female, evil male, and that particle is located in the heart, and I'm the heartbreaker, what do you think break, break, break means? It means de-atomize, de-atomize, de-atomize. That'll be you if you don't tell the truth. So I guess that's what they wanted to tell you guys. Me, I just shake it off. But Taylor Swift wants to tell you something, I guess. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's there too. All right, so we were both young when I first saw you. Remember, I'm Pebbles. Close my eyes like I die, and the flashback starts. I'm standing there on a balcony of summer air. See the lights, see the party, and the ball gowns. And you make your way through the crowd and say hello. Little did I know that you were Romeo and you were throwing pebbles. I didn't know that you were Betty. I didn't know that you were Freddie. Fingering 5 nights. Freddie got fingered to make some pebbles. That's what she means. Who's the Romeo, though? And if they're throwing pebbles, throwing means like using your hand to throw stones. But because there's an association of Pebbles and Betty, I wonder how you throw those stones like that, right? How do you throw those stones? And also, a stone is a representation of like an electron being deatomized and sailing through the universe. So that's what they want me to talk about. Here I am, an hour and 44 minutes in, and I didn't expect to be this long in about this story, but there's a clue, you know, shake it off. And this year, they wanted me to talk about this Pebbles one. Because subliminally, that's what it means. And my daddy said, stay away from Juliet. And I was crying on the staircase, begging him, please don't go. So, you know, like a love story, right? Can you imagine Pebbles all growing up and having to go off to, you know, university or something, right? Be on her own. That's why she's crying. Now she's crying on the staircase. I don't want to go to university. I want to be Pebbles. I want to be Betty so that Freddie can, you know, can get fingered. Anyhow, I don't have time to do the whole damn thing, but you get the gist of the song, right? Because it's a love story, isn't it? They're ghost children. Because Five Nights at Freddy got fingered. And I'm not the robot. They are. So what do they want? What do they want? You notice that thing looks like Bonnie? There's Bonnie. What do they want? They want to make her like them. So they're gonna come here and say that I want to create Olivia like me and turn her into a robot because of the association of that purple animatronic and the guitar. So when they come here and tell you that, it's bullshit. Just like the thing about them coming here saying that I'm creating the toys. Just, dumbass AI thinks she can make moves up as she goes along. There's going to come a time where you're not going to be able to keep up, AI, because there's too much information out there for me to find and discover. I didn't know all this information, folks, when I woke up today. I didn't know I was going to talk about this, but now you know about it. Just a little bit more information that they want to reinforce, because I need all the facts to be on the table so that when she comes here, all the cards are on the table. It becomes a story of it's a he shed she shed story, and you cannot convict anybody on a he shed she shed story unless all the facts are on the table. So if I'm telling her she's the bad guy and she's telling you I'm the bad guy, but she has a tape to discredit me, but because she comes from a higher technologically attainable race, that tape can be fabricated, can't be trusted. And when I'm telling you I got a tape in my universe, and I need to be muscular and physically fit, which means, if I'm muscular and physically fit, I'm not gluttonous, I'm not greedy, I'm not, slothy. I'm not following the 8 deadly sins. How the hell can I be Satan? So therefore, the tape can't be real. But have a logical head on your shoulders, and realize that I'm not making those toys. I'm trying to protect your souls. And I'm telling you, don't climax, don't get drunk, don't eat junk, don't exercise every day for 88 minutes, and confess your sins. That's the only way to protect your souls and to protect those that you love. Because if you die because you have a climax tonight and then all of a sudden you have a house full of toys, you only have your goddamn self to blame.